What is going on, everybody? Something I get asked very often is, what do I do with a Total Gym that is super simple, super basic, especially if I got very limited time? What's something I can do that can still get the benefits of resistance training, range of motion, functionality in my joints, still get results utilizing a Total Gym? And I get these questions from all walks of life, either younger individuals maybe have the time or don't have a whole lot of time, maybe at the end of the day on certain days of the week, they want something super basic, or people a little bit older that maybe have these machines that also want something that still has somewhat of a structure. They don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but again, they want to maximize the benefits on this equipment. So in this video, I'm going to make things even more basic than I've ever done in any previous video and give you guys 3 exercises that I think are the best to really maximize, again, range of motion benefits, also the strength benefits or resistance training benefits of a Total Gym, and also work your entire body just through these 3 simple exercises. I'll also break down a little bit of the structure and how often you guys could do this particular workout or sequence. And if you guys are curious, I'll link some other videos down below that I think are helpful that also provide a path of least resistance to really maximize the effectiveness and efficiency of this equipment in the description box. I'll also put down there everything that is featured in this video if you guys do want to check it out and or support the channel. Please consider, if you guys haven't already, liking, subscribing, sharing this content. If you guys want one-on-one coaching or want me to come out to your fitness facility or rehabilitation center and give some presentations on how to use the equipment, definitely check out SonnyMen'sTrainer.com or reach out to me at SonnyMen'sTrainer@gmail.com. Now here's some important bullet points to consider with all these exercises I'm going to break down. First and foremost is to kind of find tension and stress that basically gets you not quite to failure, just close to failure, I'd say, in that 8 to 20 repetition range. So if that means raising the incline on the glide board, adding some external weight or resistance bands, slowing the time under tension, whatever you gotta do, that finding that resistance that kind of dials in that stress and tension on that muscle in that rep range. The next thing I'll tell you guys to definitely keep in mind is don't be afraid to vary up the angles and or positions. This is greatly gonna maximize the different uniqueness of each of the positions, help work some muscles that weren't getting stressed in other body parts or even sets. So my point is, mix up the angles. I highly encourage you to do it. Even though it seems like it's static, one-dimensional exercises, you can maneuver and kind of create these things to be a little bit different stress on each exercise and each workout session. Very important is that all these things we're about here should be done pain-free in a certain range of motion that works for you. So don't try and force out a range of motion or a movement pattern that doesn't really work for you. So all those things considered, always keep in the back of your head, even though these are only 3 exercises, these are really big movement patterns essentially we're talking about. So each session, each set, kind of think about progressively working in, dialing in your technique so that the exercises feel smooth, comfortable, and most importantly, you're feeling the desired muscle work. All right, so the first of these 3 exercises is going to be the chest press. Now, if you think about going to the gym and doing a horizontal push exercise, like a typical chest press exercise, yes, you're gonna work your chest, you're gonna work your deltoids, you work your triceps, but now if we add the tool of the Total Gym into the factor, we start to work our core stabilizers, we can mix up different angles, we can mix up different ways we're actually doing the press. So you guys have seen on my channel, I do this exercise pretty much every single workout. I'll do different positions, the way I sit, and I would argue that you don't necessarily have to worry about doing so much vertical pressing. I'm not saying not to do it, but there's a reason why you guys will see in this video I'm not incorporating any kind of vertical pressing, because in my opinion, especially with age and different abilities, some people have a hard time doing this, and I don't want to say limit you to that range of motion, but if you're working, doing the Total Gym chest press with different angles and positions, like I prefaced at the start of this video, you're gonna get all those benefits from just overall pushing related movements and patterns without worrying about having to do a vertical press. So this exercise is foundational because it does so much, works so many muscles, and is one of the top upper body exercises you guys could possibly choose. Now you guys probably see where I'm going with this. The next one's gonna be any kind of a Total Gym row or a seated row. In the same way I said, don't worry so much about the vertical pressing, I'm almost gonna say the same thing for vertical pulling. I think if you're doing any kind of a horizontal pull, which is sitting on the Total Gym just like this, certainly I could hold it, like this, but I tend to, if you guys watch the channel, like to do a cross grip. Gives you a little more range of motion. You certainly can clip these on one side. The point is, I would choose a horizontal pull exercise as my second of these 3 foundational exercises. By doing this, like I said before, we're kind of adding balance to that other side of the body where we're working our core stabilizers. This case, a little bit more so on the back, just keeping our back upright. We also are working our biceps. Anytime we're pulling something, we're also working our lats, our rhomboids, and obviously those muscles in the back and the other side of the deltoids as well. So just those 2 exercises, if you really think about it, and doing it on a Total Gym, like I prefaced with the pushing exercises, you're essentially working all the body parts. Yes, you could do some more isolation stuff in the deltoids or the arms or biceps and stuff, but if you do these 2 things and think on each set as you go along, how can I, maybe change the range of motion, change the tension, change the intensity, change different ways of doing it for their single arm. I can go up a little bit higher. I can row a little bit higher. I can row a little bit closer. The point is you're gonna add balance, and I don't think you necessarily have to overthink stressing every minute detail. And by doing these, you're gonna open up an increased range of motion in your shoulders and in the upper extremity in general. All right, last but not least, and one I haven't done in a while, and one I know some people have not done because they couldn't get a hold of this larger squat stand, which was out of stock for a long time. It is back in stock. I'll link it down below on TotalGymDirect.com, but it's just doing the Total Gym deep squat or something similar to that effect and just changing up these angles, and I'll talk about that. But one question I get asked often, I had a student ask me the other day, I was doing just a deep squat, showing something in the gym, and someone said, how do you do that? What kind of special mobility drill are you doing? And I'm like, there's no special drill, no special stretches I'm doing. I'm not super flexible. I used to be really inflexible. It's really just a matter of getting into that range of motion, kind of teaching your body how to do that in some ways, but also just keeping at it a little bit. And this is where a Total Gym comes in really handy. A lot of people have a hard time just learning and getting into this position. And I think if you got this larger squat stand and you're doing the Total Gym squat, just like this with a larger squat stand with your feet kind of turned out a little bit, knees turned out a little bit, these actual push-up bars come in handy to kind of pull you down if you want to. You don't have to go this low, but just this is a great tool to maximize that range of motion and again, strengthen that lower extremity. I know some people might say, well, this is kind of easy. There's all sorts of things you can do. You could go a little bit faster in speed. You could put some external weight plates on. You certainly can obviously go in one leg, but that is it, guys. Now what I would do is pick these 3 exercises, rotate them, try and work on those points I said in the beginning, changing angles up set to set, work on technique, focus on tension, do whatever you gotta do to make the exercise feel a little bit stressful. But do this for as much as your time that allots in that particular workout. You could do it just a simple circuit, just going from push, pull into the legs, or you could just stay with the chest exercise and go to the pull for a given number of sets. But this is kind of depending on the number of time, how much time you got. So if you got 20 minutes or 30 minutes, at the end of the day, you don't want to think about anything super complicated, do this stuff. It's very easy, and you're gonna work the whole entire body. You're gonna work your range of motion. You're gonna build strength and some resistance if you consider all those points I prefaced at the start of the video again. Essentially, all your bases are covered. Very basic, very super simple. A lot of really important little minute points that you guys could pay attention to in this video, but that's it. If you guys do these things, you guys will see some results, and it's certainly better than nothing and gets you guys moving. And I can't think of many other resistance training tools that do so much in such a simple, compact, and easy, efficient way than a Total Gym. So any questions, comments, feedback, let me know, and I will see you guys on the next video.